Boss fires employee for no reason, then instantly regrets it. NexTech Innovations, a cutting-edge technology business that is well known for its innovative artificial intelligence solutions, was experiencing a chilly Monday morning. The sound of keyboards clacking, coffee machines whirling, and the odd ping of Slack alerts could be heard across the workplace during the typical office bustle. On the other hand, stress was building up in a secluded part of the open plan office area. While serving as the chief executive officer of NexTech, Mark Reynolds was notorious for his sharp tongue and even harsher anger. The workers of his company often walked on eggshells when they were in his presence, since he was a guy who prioritized outcomes above relationships. In the morning of that particular day, Mark walked into the workplace with a flushed face and a little crooked tie. It had just happened that he had lost a significant customer as a result of a misunderstanding, and he was seeking for someone to blame. It was Alex Carter, a software engineer who had been working for the firm for 5 years and was known for his quiet but intelligent nature, who caught his attention. Alex was the type of worker who got by without drawing attention to himself. He was always reliable and always inventive, but he was never one to seek the limelight, despite the fact that Mark had never given Alex any attention in the past. He made the decision to make an example of him today. "This is my office, Alex." As soon as possible, Mark spoke out, his voice piercing through the noise of the office like a knife. Despite his first shock, Alex remained calm as he followed Mark inside the office with the glass walls. The remaining members of the squad looked at each other with concern. They were aware of what was about to happen. Mark started out by saying, "Alex, I don't know what you've been doing here, but it's clearly not enough," with a tone that was disdainful and oozing with contempt. "I need workers who are able to offer services since we are losing customers. It's over for you. Make sure that your desk is clean and leave before noon." Alex was astounded as he stood there. "However, I finally completed the prototype for the new artificial intelligence system. It is going to completely transform." It was Mark who interrupted, saying, "I don't care about your prototype. You're done here." Alex turned and exited the office without uttering a single word, his thoughts racing as he did so. His heart was sad, but his determination was unshaken as he walked out of the building with his things, which included a few framed photographs, his preferred mechanical keyboard, and a little potted plant. 2 weeks after that, when Mark was sitting at his office, going through his email, he became aware of something that was very peculiar. The stock price of the firm had begun to fall, and a number of important customers had abruptly withdrawn from projects that were already underway. It was an urgent matter, so he convened a meeting with his top staff. "What's going on?" Mark made a demand. "Why are we losing clients?" Prior to making her statement, Sarah, one of the top managers, exhibited a delay. "All right, Mark. It would seem that Alex Carter has officially launched his own business. Carter AI Solutions is the name he has given to the company, and the prototype that he was working on here has already been released. It's really wonderful. He is seeing an influx of customers." Mark's blood became ice cold. "What prototype?" he inquired, despite the fact that he was already aware of the answer. Sarah whispered, "The one you fired him over," referring to the person. With a 95% accuracy rate, it is an artificial intelligence program that forecasts market movements. "Mark, this entirely changes the game. As of the moment, it is his." Mark's thoughts were racing. He recalled that Alex had attempted to explain the prototype to him, but because to his anger, he had been unable to listen. Now, the very same prototype was posing a danger to the very existence of his business. The fortunes of NexTech continued to deteriorate throughout the course of the subsequent several months. Alex's groundbreaking technique enticed a large number of customers to leave, compelling them to leave in droves. Even though Mark made an effort to save the situation, it was already too late. It was too late to undo the harm. During this time, Alex's business was doing quite well. These individuals were eager to work under a leader that valued creativity and honesty, and he had recruited some of the most talented individuals that NexTech had to offer. Soon after its launch, Carter AI Solutions became the topic of conversation in the world of technology, and Alex was lauded as a visionary. Mark got an invitation to attend a technology conference one day, and Alex was going to be the keynote speaker at the event. While he was swallowing his pride, Mark made the decision to go. It was necessary for him to personally see what he had lost. The ovation from the crowd began to explode as soon as Alex stepped onto the platform. During his speech, he talked with much enthusiasm about his trip, the difficulties he had encountered, and the significance of having faith in one's team. A feeling of remorse filled Mark's gut as he sat in the back of the room. Immediately after the speech, Mark went up to Alex. As he spoke, his voice was shaking. "Alex, I owe you an apology," he acknowledged. "I made a mistake when I fired you. On a great number of occasions, I was incorrect." Alex glanced at him with a calm but determined expression on his face. "It is my pleasure, Mark. Nevertheless, this is not just about me. It all comes down to how you interact with other people. Although talent may be found anywhere, opportunities are not. You had a fantastic crew, but you did not show them any appreciation. That is the reason why you were unsuccessful." With a sigh of embarrassment, Mark nodded his head. While he was leaving, he came to the realization that the most significant error he had committed was not dismissing Alex. Rather, it was his failure to acknowledge Alex's value in the first place. The company NexTech was never able to completely recover from its collapse, and Mark finally resigned from his position as CEO. Alex, on the other hand, proceeded to build Carter AI Solutions into a worldwide powerhouse, while always keeping in mind the lessons he had learned along the way during his career. Where does Mark stand? He created a charitable organization with the purpose of providing guidance to young business owners, instructing them on the significance of humility, empathy, and the worth of each individual member of a team. He wanted to make apologies, not just to Alex, but to everyone else he had ever undervalued. This was his method of doing so. Mark eventually came to the realization that genuine success is not just about monetary gain and power. Rather, it is about the people involved. And there are times when it takes losing everything in order to understand what is really important. As Carter AI Solutions, Alex's firm, began to fly to new heights, it not only caused a disruption in the technology sector, but it also spurred a movement in culture. The tale of Alex quickly spread like wildfire across several platforms, including social media, podcasts, and business publications. He became a symbol of what it means to be resilient and innovative. Individuals were motivated not just by the revolutionary technology that he developed, but also by the manner in which he dealt with his staff. At Carter AI, everybody's opinion counted, and teamwork was the most important thing. The tagline of the firm, "Innovation through Inclusion," became a rallying cry for new businesses all across the globe. While this was going on, Mark's charitable organization, Second Chances, started to acquire momentum. He shared his tale of failure and redemption with the group in an open and honest manner, having put his heart into the organization. During his travels, he visited schools, incubators, and conferences, where he urged leaders to make humility and empathy their top priorities. It was not because he was a flawless example of what a role model should be like that his speeches were often greeted with standing ovations. Rather, it was because he was a real example of how even the most arrogant among us can evolve. On a certain day, Mark was surprised to receive an email. It was Alex who sent it. To Mark, regarding your work with second chances, I have been keeping up with it. It's very remarkable. Please allow me to discuss the possibility of working together. Message me if you are willing to consider it. As always, Alex. As Mark continued to gaze at the television, his heart began to race. Ever since the tragic day at the conference, he hadn't had a single conversation with Alex. To bury the past and go on with his life, he had a part of him that wanted to disregard the email. Another part of him, the one that had developed as a result of his work with charity organizations, was aware that this was an opportunity that he could not pass up. They came to an agreement that they would meet in a coffee shop in the middle of the city, which would be a neutral spot. In the moment that Mark entered the room, he saw Alex seated at a table in the corner, enjoying a coffee. He had a new appearance, one that was more certain and relaxed. Mark inhaled deeply and then moved closer to the door. "Alex," he murmured, offering his hand to the listener. "Thank you for meeting me." Alex firmly shook his hand in response. "We appreciate your presence. Please take a seat." They sat in quiet for a brief period of time, the burden of their shared past hanging between that moment. At long last, Alex made his voice heard. "I'll tell you the truth, Mark. As soon as I began Carter AI, I was filled with rage. It was my intention to disprove your assertions and demonstrate to you the extent of my capabilities. But as time went on, I came to the realization that my achievement was not about you. The focus was on myself, namely on having faith in myself and doing something that was significant." Mark gave a little nod, his eyes lowering. "I am aware of it. In addition, I apologize. In all honesty, I failed to see your potential, as well as the potential of a great number of other people." Following a brief period of observation, Alex grinned at him. "I have no doubt that you are. It was for this reason that I took action. It seems to me that we might accomplish something significant together." Alex suggested a collaborative project between Carter AI and Second Chances, which would be a mentoring program for disadvantaged children and teenagers who are interested in technology, with the intention of creating a level playing field for aspiring innovators. The program would provide financial aid in the form of scholarships, internships, and access to resources that are at the bleeding edge of technology. Mark fell to his knees. A tone of incredulity could be heard in his voice as he inquired, "You'd really want to work with me on this?" Alex gave a little nod. "You've evolved, Mark," she said. "Well, I can see that. Second chances are something I believe in. In addition, this is not about us. Rather, it is about providing others with the possibilities that we ourselves wish we had." 6 months later, the initiative, which was given the name Future Innovators, was introduced. It was an immediate success, drawing great talent from a variety of unique backgrounds and receiving awards from the most influential people in the field. Both Mark and Alex became an improbable pair, and their relationship is a demonstration of the transformative power of personal development and forgiveness. Over the course of many years, the influence of their partnership was felt well beyond the realm of software development. Following their graduation from Future Innovators, graduates went on to form their own businesses, create groundbreaking innovations, and serve as mentors to the next generation of dreamers. While Mark's charity organization spread throughout the world and touched the lives of millions of people, Alex's artificial intelligence algorithm formed the foundation of a wide range of businesses, from healthcare to finance. One evening, when they were both standing on stage together at a gala that was commemorating the 5th anniversary of the program, Mark turned to Alex and remarked, "You know, I used to think that being the smartest person in the room was the key to success. However, you showed me that it is about bringing people to a higher level." Alex wore a grin. And you taught me that it's never too late to change. Mark had a feeling of calm that he hadn't experienced in many years as the crowd gave a rousing round of applause. Despite the fact that he had lost everything, he had achieved something that was far more valuable: a sense of purpose. At the same moment when it seemed that their narrative had arrived at its conclusion, a new chapter started. A young lady by the name of Priya, who graduated from the Future Innovators program, came up with a groundbreaking artificial intelligence platform that has the potential to forecast and avert natural calamities. Countless lives were spared as a result of her innovation, which won her the Nobel Prize. During her acceptance speech at the award event, Priya expressed her gratitude to both Alex and Mark. As a result of your efforts, I now understand that innovation is not only about technology, but also about people. I want to express my gratitude to you for having faith in me when I had no faith in myself. Mark and Alex, who were also in the crowd, shared a knowing gaze with one another as they watched. The results of their deeds would continue to have a ripple effect that would continue to influence the planet for years to come. Their voyage had brought them full circle. As a result, the narrative of the manager who dismissed his employee for no reason and immediately regretted his decision has become an enduring tale of redemption, resiliency, and the transformational power of second chances.